to another NBA OG episode, or I'm sorry, OG episode of the NBA playoffs. We're minus Dutchy today. Shocker that having internet problems with Cox. We know if you live in Vegas or if you watch this show long term, you know how bad Cox internet is. So we'll get Dutch back next time. Go around the horn. Babano, it's been a little while since we've talked. A lot has gone down in the association. We have a couple series that are tied. What have you thought about what's going on? How's NBA been treating you? How you doing today?
It's been a crazy second round. It's been Cleveland Boston hasn't been the best series. Other than that, though, we've got drama everywhere else. Indiana, New York, we've got a tied series, 2-2. Pacers get back into it, winning both home games, including just destroying New York in Game 4. Road team has won every game in the Minnesota-Denver series. We thought, I even admit, I was worried about the Nuggets after Game 2, losing those 2 home games. But the heart of a champion shone through in Minnesota. They played a lot better. They made their adjustments. I think you got to give Michael Malone credit, and they answered the call and they tied it up. That series is there for the taking. Anyone's series, entertaining, is going to go 6, maybe even 7, just like Indiana, New York. And now we can say the same thing about Oklahoma City and Dallas as well. That series tied 2-2. It's going 6 or 7. So we got 3 series here in the second round that are going to go 6 games minimum. So from an entertainment standpoint, this is great stuff. And we're going to have a great conclusion here in the second round with 3 of these second round series.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Wham Bam, it's good to have you in here. Good to see you. How's everything been with you? How's NBA been treating you?
Oh man, y'all already know, man. I love y'all to death, bro. I'm happy to be here. Happy to see y'all. Shout out to Tasha, Cashville Rican, Ray, Brian, G Martinez, Winter Circle, Justin, my dog coming back from vacation. We appreciate you. And as you say, how was my weekend? It was cool. It was real good. Kids didn't do too much. They didn't mess up my carpet too much. You know what I mean? I was very consistent with the Celtics. Very luckily to be doing that. Obviously, it doesn't seem like Donovan Mitchell is all the way in when you're not playing in the playoff games. It's not regular season, bro. So I don't want to see you standing on the sideline in street clothes. It's not regular season, bro. You're not there to help your team. Shame on you. And Darius Garland, bro, we need you to do this every game, bro. We need you to do this every game. I mean, this is the reason why y'all down. Y'all actually had a competitive game. It is what it is. Do I have the script? I don't know, but I did feel something was fishy with that Dallas game. It did feel a little fishy. Our guy Mike M yesterday, he did say that it was interesting the way that spread was, knowing that they're on the road as on the road as a short dogs like that. You seen OKC were able to hold it down. Celtics first half. I mean, come on, man, we're gonna keep doing that. And then today we got some good, interesting tied up in Timberwolves. I can't wait to talk about that game. Let's get to it, bro.
Yeah, we only have 2 games on the slate for today, and 2 good ones though. I've been talking about them, thinking about them all day. Some good games. First game up, we have Pacers and Knicks. Knicks are all the way down to a 1-point favorite. Total been sitting pat at 217. Hallie is game time for the Knicks. We know OG is out. Looks like everybody who's been playing for the Knicks besides that is going to be out there. I've been back and forth with this since yesterday, I think, since last night or whatever. Everybody's gonna say, and rightfully so, that the Knicks look gassed. They look like they didn't have anything left in the tank, but they didn't play the entirety of the game. Had a couple more days rest, and they're coming back home. I think, I mean, you should get a really good effort from the Knicks tonight. I don't think you're going to see a team that looks exhausted and just ready to go home and going to lay down. So that's making me think, I want to think that the Knicks can get there. I really do. I trust that if the game is close in the fourth quarter, the Knicks have the best player on the court, player with the most experience, and the player I trust the most to score, and Jalen Brunson. So I'm leaning towards the Knicks. I know everybody likes the Pacers. Um, Babano, do you like the Pacers? Muted.
I've now seen enough of the Knicks without OG Anunoby. I can't back him without him. It's crazy to think he's that big of a deal, but the record's you are what your record says you are. And the New York Knicks, without this guy in the lineup, where he not only brings you the offensive punch, some 3-point shoot, and it's obviously the defensive side what he brings you. And you have seen this New York team defensively just be absolutely abysmal trying to slow down the Pacers without him. I mean, the 2 games in Indiana, especially game 4, just absolutely dreadful, miserable defending, which from a Tom Thibodeau team, you don't normally see that. But without OG Anunoby, I mean, what can you say? Do you know that the record with him, 26-5, the record without OG Anunoby is 13-17. They're 4 games below 500 without him. He's such a difference maker for them at the defensive end. Now, at Skee's point, there are some things working in New York's favor. That first of all, Thibodeau kept Brunson in way too long in game 4. And I know finally late third quarter, he got him out of there. There was no reason for him to take a single minute on the court after halftime. None. 0. That game was over already. Why on earth he started in the third quarter is mind-boggling to me. And yes, eventually they did get him out of the game, but to me it was too late. You could have even given him a few, even more rest and opportunity to heal and be, replenished for tonight. A very big game 5 at Madison Square Garden. So I don't like the way he did that, Thibodeau, and handled it in game 5. That being said, he eventually did get Brunson and the starters out of the game and off the floor. So they didn't play the full, 40 minutes, or, the court time wasn't nearly as bad. They do have the extra day in between games. That helps when you go from Sunday here to Thursday. So, or Tuesday rather. So you got some time here to heal up. Well, you've got the afternoon game to a night game. So that does help a little bit. So there are those are definitely 2 things that help New York a little bit tonight. I don't know if it's going to be enough though, because I think Indiana has had matchup edges. They're making their shot. Ty Halliburton's starting to make threes. That's a concern. Nembhard's been incredible in the series. You know what they're doing too, the Pacers? This cutting action to the basket is killing them. Like, they've got Neesmith on all these friggin' cuts to the basket, and he's cutting up the Knick defense in the process. They haven't been able to defend that stuff. And the last game, they just ball screens and just cutting action to the basket. I mean, they're just destroying New York over and over again. Now, you would think that Thibodeau, is a coach that's been around the block, has some adjustments in mind, but I don't know if those adjustments are going to work when clearly your best on-ball defender's missing and not playing in this game tonight. So I'm going to take the Indiana side. Now, this strong about the 2 games tonight, but especially this game in particular. I just don't know if the Knicks personnel-wise, scheme-wise, or health-wise, quite frankly, with Brunson still banged up playing through the injury. Even with that extra time, I just don't know if they've got it in them to gut this one out here, even though it feels like a spot where back home they're going to step up and bring it. So, yeah, for me, it would be Indiana a little bit in this game at +1, 1.5. As far as the total goes, now I am concerned about how, we kind of saw in game 4 turn into a blowout, but I'm going to still come back to the over here because we did see, obviously, in the games in New York, we saw, New York be able to get going offensively. That's when Brunson was pretty good. And like I said, Brunson is going to play through his injury, but at home in the first 2 games, they did score into the 120s both times, 130 in game 2. Both games went over. The fact that Brunson, it was an afternoon game, they eventually got him out of the game before the end of the third quarter, should leave him fresher, because I thought he didn't have his legs in game 4. Let's be real. He was short-arming shots. The jump shot was consistently coming up short, missing, hitting front rim. It was over and over again. We were seeing that from Brunson. So I think he's going to have a little more energy tonight because the downtime from Sunday afternoon to Tuesday night is greater than it was from game 3 to game 4. So that should help the Knicks offensively. But I don't think defensively, without OG Anunoby, they've got answers consistently for Indiana. And again, without OG, there's a quicker pace, and certainly they're a worse defensive team. So put the 2 together. I make a case over the total here as well.
Interesting. A lot of good stuff said from Babano. I'm gonna come over to you here, Wham Bam, and who's out there tonight. You gotta let me know. I mean, the series is tied though, so it's tough to call it. But I have a hard time thinking that the Knicks go win game 6 in Indiana. Is it the extender or the exterminator with Scott Foster tonight?
Hey, Scotty might be he might show a little love to the home team. He shows love to the home team when he normally does, though. I'm gonna go in a perspective, and I kind of give Ben a little pushback. I agree with you too, Skee. I don't think that these guys are tired, and this game is going to be a little bit more of extension for a rest there. They get a little bit more extra rest there, and on top of that, I think that some of these role players are going to show up. You know, Josh Hart had his first bad game of the playoffs, damn near. So I mean, come on, give him a break. You know what I mean? For the prop though, I'm not going to go to Josh Hart. I know he had 2 for 1 for 6, 0 for 2 for 3. He didn't really shoot really well. 24 minutes, not his normal 48 minutes that he normally plays. So, you know, he should be pretty damn near fresh. You know what I mean? At this point, Josh Hart, I expect him to be crashing the boards, going crazy with the rebounds. I'm going to go with the guy that's damn near like OG's replacement. It's Alec Burks. I think over the last 2 games, he's been able to clear over the 1.5 3-point makes. And as far as, you know, role players playing good at the house, I'm going to hope that one of these veteran players coming off the bench helping out Alex Burks is going to probably be that guy there. So I like the over 1.5 threes for him. I do agree with that over with Babano. I think that this is going to continue. Both teams may continue to shoot damn near well over 40%, 39% for this Knicks team just because of that last game. But they were leading the series in 3-point percentage up to that game. So, and you saying it, man, Tyrese Halliburton is actually showing up. He's talking shit. But after he walked away, Jalen Brunson said it's going to be a long series. So I think Scotty Foster is going to be out there extending this motherfucker, man. I think we got to get us a game 7 here. This got game 7 written all over it in the Garden. Makes the most sense to me. And, yeah, I think that the Knicks win today. They probably catch a L going back to Indiana. And then we back in the Garden, bro. Scotty Foster back at this one. He going to be back. You know what I mean? Maybe Scotty trying to pencil himself back in New York again. So, I think that's the way I would write. If they say I got the script, KC say I got the script, that's the way I would write the script in this one. I'm going to go Alec Burks. So Alec Burks over 1.5 threes. That's going to be my official play in this game, minus 106.
He likes Alec Burke threes. I'm with Diaz. Scotty, can you do something for me? I think I got to get with them Knicks, man. I think I got to go with the Knicks. I think that you know, taking them out at the end of the game and then just the extra time a little bit before this game back at home. I mean, if Brunson's going to get help from anybody else, it's going to be at the house in the Garden.
Yeah.
You can see McBride go off.
McBride, it's not delivery. It's DiVincenzo actually might be worth a look as far as props.
Yeah.
His point prop was 22.5. I think he's hit that every other game besides the last one versus team. So I might have to be on the Knicks here. I might be by myself. But
no, I'm not gonna lie. I like the Knicks. I like the Knicks, and I'm very close on taking that first half too. I've already locked in first half already for today, so I'm thinking this is gonna be back-to-back first half. So I do like the Knicks first half is my stronger as far as any side or total or anything. It'd be Knicks first half. So I'm in with you kind of. That's why I say I give Babano pushback a little bit.
You guys both are liking the over. You know, I was thinking over too at first. I'm thinking that New York should shoot better at home. I mean, they shot 19% from 3 in that last game. They had nothing. But Pacers also probably come back a little bit down to earth. I think the total, like how you view these teams, like if you think New York is dead, they have, you know, nothing left in the tank, how can you go and bet the over? That's my opinion. I mean, if they have dead legs, they're going to be short arming shots like you saw, and it should be a lower scoring game. But if you believe in New York, if you think that they're going to be good offensively, I mean, the Pacers have cleared their team total every game except one so far this playoffs. I'm undecided, I guess, how I want to roll, but I told you what I think the correlation is, and I like the Knicks. So anything else before we move over to the next game from you guys?
Oh, that's good. It's a hell of a game tonight.
Yeah, it will be. Can't wait to watch it. And I'm gonna be looking at everything. We got NBA, WNBA. I'm gonna have a good night tonight. Next game up, we have T-Wolves, Nuggets. Nuggets are a 4-point favorite. Total looks like 206. Conley was a late add to the injury report. I think his thing said Achilles soreness, which is not good to see if you like the Timberwolves. And then Jamal Murray, he's been questionable every single game. I think he'll be out there. Nuggets and Mike Malone, they made great adjustments to counter that pressure that the T-Wolves have been doing. The bigs bringing up the ball up the court, clearing outsides for Murray to just, you know, get the ball real quick and go make his move and score. Is there anything else? Any other chess moves that the Timberwolves can make defensively? I mean, we know they're the best defensive team. I really want to get there with the Timberwolves. I think that they will make an adjustment. I think that their defense can play better than they did last game, and I think Anthony Edwards will get a little bit of help if all those things happen. They can cover +4. Wham bam, I'm gonna come right back to you. Do you agree, or are the champs just that they got a little bit too much rhythm right now?
Man, they looking tough. Man, they looking tough. Um, it's not looking good. I would just say that it's not looking good. Ant definitely is looking good though. Last game, what he did pretty much did everything for that damn team, bro. Couldn't get no help. I agree with you, Joseph Gomez, Nas Reed. He has to step up. His point total and his threes look like they pretty much good money. I do agree with you there. Um, I think you're right, Moonoff, and I did watch you guys' show today. Shout out to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I did watch you guys today, and I agree with you guys. You probably do want to put Go Burr on the bench, especially the way he looked when he was out there with his kids. You know what I'm saying? Watching his kids, the way the team looked with Nas Reed and all those guys when he was out there doing his daddy duties. So yeah, I definitely agree with you there. I think that I'm going to continue to be consistent here. The way I thought about this game is that I want to get there with the Timberwolves as well, just like you said, bro. I'm kind of want to raise by Wolves full game type of energy. I think they do win this game. Obviously, it's a tough tale to win 3 consecutive games with the elevation, with the home crowd. Obviously, the Timberwolves home crowd was not ready, bro. They were not ready. They was feeding these damn Wolves flat meat this whole damn playoffs, and they gave them fucking Wagyu steak, bro. As soon as they come back to Timberwolves, they gave them Wagyu steak. They got fat and happy. Now these boys thinking they good. And I think they go back to flat meat. You know what I'm saying? I think the flat meat is when they go on a roll. So I think I like many here. And I think the way I took this play is I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to continue to fade the Denver Nuggets in the first half. But I think that the Timberwolves come out with that flat meat mentality, bro. Like they can't play around here. They got to go for the nose, stick to the groundwork as far as that defensive mentality there, and then allow Ant Edwards to bring it home, man. I think if you get any type of production from Cat, it's going to be a win for this damn Minnesota. So I'm going to be kind of keying in on him. I'm not putting any money on Cat, but as soon as I start to see him looking a little bit better and start to help this team out offensively, that's going to be my telltale side that this is going to be a good play here. If that's going downhill, maybe I'm trying to buy myself out of it here. I think Timberwolves is going to go as far as Cat allows them to help. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate there because I'm very consistent with Ant Edwards. And I do want to take Ant Edwards just because I know he's going to be there. And I could trust him. It's 30.5. He obviously had 44 points in a losing effort last game. I think he easily could get the 35, 36 points in this game. It's just tough, though, because I think that there may be a balanced effort. We've seen this Timberwolves team have a stack of 10-point plus from everyone. Another guy that I think is going to show up for them is Mike Conley. I think Mike Conley knows how serious this game is as far as morale. He's there as well. So I think that all those things is going to factor in. Everyone's pitching in. But I do think that the lead head is going to be Ant Edwards. So all that said, I didn't even talk about what I really like here. I take the first half, though, because Timberwolves is showing that they're going to have that straight force early, and I think that the Nuggets are going to try to play how they have been playing, even when that first series with the Lakers kind of like play around with it early on. So give me the Timberwolves +2 in the first half, and then I'm thinking about that full game money line with Timberwolves as well.
But Bano, how you seeing Wolves and Nuggets?
Yeah, road team has won and covered every series. I'm not ready to abandon Minnesota yet. I know it was really, really strange how amazing they looked in game 1 and game 2, suffocating Denver. I mean, they made Jokic really one of the worst games I've seen him play in a long time in game 2. And then all of a sudden we fast forward to game 3 and 4 in Minnesota. And all of a sudden that defense looks nothing like we had seen in the first 6 games of the playoffs. In the Phoenix series, the first 2 games against Denver, and they were just getting sliced, by Denver in the last 2 games in Minnesota. So, can the Timberwolves and Chris Finch and that coaching staff, can they make their adjustments here? I think what's got to be a little bit concerning for Minnesota, and that's probably the biggest fear I have tonight going into this game, is that it wasn't just what Jokic and Murray did, in the 2 games in Minnesota, where, you obviously had Jokic with 35, Murray with 19 in the Game 4 victory, and the Game 3 victory, Jokic had 24, Murray had 24, but they can't stop Aaron Gordon suddenly. Like, where does this come from? Where's this offense come from for Gordon? I mean, you got to give the Nuggets credit. They've got confidence in Gordon. And look, I think what Minnesota's trying to do is focus on Jokic and Murray and to let Aaron Gordon have his, get his. But unfortunately, Aaron Gordon getting his is really hurting them. Like, he had 27 points in the Game 4 victory. I mean, that just can't happen. When you're already, trying to keep Jokic and Murray under wraps. And then you got, a couple big timely threes throughout the series, especially in the last 2 games from Justin Holiday off the bench. And Christian Brown is suddenly starting to percolate for Denver. So that's the problem here for Minnesota now, is going back home. And you'd think, in a lot of these situations, the supporting cast plays well, but we didn't necessarily see that, from Denver in the first 2 games. They've been good on the road in these playoffs. We know that. They went to Phoenix in Game 3 and 4 and got the job done. And then, of course, they won Game 1 and Game 2, obviously, of this series here in Denver. I feel that coming off those 2 games in Minnesota, this is a Minnesota team that I think's got enough in them to say, you know what, that hurts. We weren't expecting to be up 2-0 in the series, come back home, and now be going back to Denver 2-2. I do think they have it in them to give Denver some problems again, kind of get back to their great defensive efforts that they've had. And I'm going to have to see it again from Gordon and Holiday. I like it. Jokic and Murray are going to be fine. They'll get theirs. But you just cannot let Gordon and Holiday and Brown and KCP and Michael Porter, you just can't let all of them have an impact on the game as well. And that was Minnesota's issue in the last 2 games. So at +4, it's kind of a buy low situation. As much as everyone, it feels like Game 3 in reverse. Everyone jumped off the Denver bandwagon after Game 2. Everybody was really, really worried that it's over for the champs. And then Denver rolled in there, jumped on Minnesota in Game 3, won handily, and then, of course, they tied the series. Now it feels reversed. People are giving up on Minnesota. The champs have responded. They're awake from their slumber. Minnesota now looks like that young, youthful team that's now been exposed a little bit, and now everyone's jumping off Minnesota. I'm going to stay on that bandwagon for one more night. Minnesota for me, plus the points.
Right there with you, bro.
I want to know that Conley is playing, and then maybe I can get there with Minnesota. But good breakdowns, good stuff from you guys. Tough games today, but we got through them both. And I'll ask you real quick, but Ben, I know we won't talk tomorrow. It doesn't have to be too much, but any quick thoughts on the other 2 series that we're going to see tomorrow? You're muted.
Yeah, I'm rooting like hell for Oklahoma City. You guys know that. And what a job by them in the 4th quarter. And look, it was not looking good, but they tightened up the D. Everyone chipped in. Dort with some big shots. Chet Holmgren with some big shots. Jalen Williams. And, of course, the ringleader, my guy from Hamilton right here, the hammer, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who was great once again. Big win, because it felt like if they didn't win last night, they're in trouble. Down 3-1 to Dallas and Luka and Kyrie. You look at Game 4 now, or Game 5 rather. Now you got OKC laying 4 after a win. Not in this spot. I believe as much as I'm rooting for them, Dallas plus the points are nothing for me in Game 5. I think if Oklahoma City wins, even back at the house, that great home court, we know it's a great playoff crowd going back to when Harden and Westbrook and KD were on the Thunder a decade ago. But it feels like one of those series. It's going to be back and forth, push and pull. It's been a zigzag theory series all the way pretty much. Although I know Dallas got the 2 wins in a row, but it was a great spot for OKC. They bounced back. So I hope OKC wins this series. I think they still could, but I don't think it's the right time and spot for me to be laying 4. So I'd have to lean Dallas a little bit there as far as that side is concerned. I was a little surprised to see the game slow to a crawl. It was the first time we've seen back-to-back overs or unders in the series. So I think I'm going to stay away from the total. And then for Cleveland and Boston, look, Cleveland did cover last night, just barely, but they did. And I think Boston kind of fell into that lull where, they thought it was going to be easy with Donovan Mitchell not playing. And they went through the motions. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. I mean, Boston was sleepwalking much of the game. And unfortunately, without Donovan Mitchell, Cleveland couldn't seize the opportunity. Good enough to hang around, good enough to cover the point spread in the full game, but not good enough, obviously, to win the game. We'll see if Donovan's able to play tomorrow, but it's one of those really tough games. But because there's just no way I'm laying 15.5 with Boston. I'm not doing that. But can I make enough case for Cleveland, on the road? I don't know. We'll have to see if Mitchell plays. But right now I'd lean Cleveland, but very doubtful if I bet it.
And I'll go real quick and just say that Dallas and OKC series, I mean, it seems like a defensive under type series at this point.
Yep.
And whenever I see Dallas catching points, like I'm kind of interested in that. So I'll be trying to find reasons to back Dallas there. And if I'm betting anything in Boston versus Cleveland, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
First half.
Celtics first half. Wham Bam, how you feeling about it?
Yeah, got that already locked in. -8.5. I ain't gonna speak too much on that. You already know. Celtics first half, man. It's only right. And then it's just over for that team too. Once I like the full game too, just as much, just because morale and things of that nature. It's over for that team. JB Bigstaff will be fired. All that. Yeah, and then the next game it's going to be a tough game, but I kind of agree with Ray. If they unleash the boy Chet Holmgren, he's obviously one of the better key defining players here. They're going to continue to leave PJ Washington wide open. It seems like, you know what I'm saying? So they're just going to continue to leave him wide open. So if he's going to have those threes operating there, if you're on PJ Washington over threes, continue to bet that, bro. I haven't been betting it, but after watching, like you said, it's an under series. But if you're taking anything over, it's going to be the guy that's wide open there. But yeah, nothing for me as far as in that game. But I am on the first half of the Celtics, so nothing really too much other than that.
All right, there we go. That's a slight look ahead for tomorrow. And now we'll move it on over to best bets. So, per usual, I always slide to my guy Wham Bam first. Let the people know what's the best way to get paid.
That's the best way to get paid, man. I really want to say the full game, but because I just think that this road team is going to continue to win in this series, and Denver may even hold it down in Timberwolves' home spot as well. But I'm going to go with Alec Burks here. I think Alec Burks showing us there that he's going to continue to, since inserted into this rotation, he's been going over this 1.5 threes. Hasn't let us down yet. They're going to need him today. So I think this is the best bet, and it's the first bet for the day. So we're going to go all over 1.5 threes, Alec Burks. 1.5 threes is at -106. So let's get that money.
All right, player prop for Wham Bam. I will go next. And my best bet, I've been thinking about it all day. I said I was going to make it when I got to this show, and here we are. It's time to make it. I'll be on the other side of everybody. I'll have some belief in them. They got embarrassed. They got killed. Already down by like 40 points. They lost by 30. Game 5 home teams that just got embarrassed. They lost by 20 plus. They won 13 out of 15 times. I know maybe all of them are not as injured as New York, but they got a little bit of rest time. Like I mentioned earlier, the role players are going to play better at home. And if it's a close game, I trust Brunson with my money. So Knicks -115 will be my best bet for the show. And last but not least, we'll pass on over to Babano. Let the people know what you think is the best way to get paid and take us home.
Yeah, best bet for tonight. Let's go to the late game. This is the time to jump on, in my opinion. I think if they lose, it's going to be by the slimmest of margins, and they have a response in them after losing back-to-back at home. We're going with those Minnesota Timberwolves, +4.5, -114 at Bet Rivers is still out there. So shop around for that. Get the hook if you can. Minnesota +4.5 against Denver for my best bet. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Hit the like button on the way out here on the OG NBA show. Of course, we'll be back with you on Thursday. And the NBA is a hell of a drug. And you're looking at the plugs. Yeah, man, we're going in and we're coming out with the motherfucking bag. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.